Welcome to this episode of... God, she's done it again!
God damn it!
Welcome to this episode of...
The Full Distance Podcast.
No, well done.
That's alright.
Alright?
Yes, I get to you. Usual.
Yeah, a bit of a
welcome home.
nightmare journey. I won't go into it now, but as I said to Tom, as a race, it's a wonder we're still alive and breathing. There you go. Anyway, yeah, I'm alright, thanks. Not a bad week this week.
Good.
Nice swim at Rutland on Tuesday, which I thought was going to be my last one, so I said bye and thanks very much to everybody.
You've been racing, haven't you?
We did have a little race, and my team finished second in the relay,
Well done.
which for me is a great achievement, being the slowest swimmer in the group. It was very good. Yeah, so that was alright. I had a double bike session one night, so I had to do 2 laps, and I had a nice little run last night, which was supposed to be a out and back, 3 miles out, 3 miles back. But you don't get the hills in really, and I need to do the hills, so I just did my usual 7-mile loop with 5 hills.
So it's been a bit of a crazy week because after last weekend we went to Tenby, didn't we, for a bit of a recce?
We did, and unfortunately we've had loads of great weather because we couldn't do the long course weekend because I was on holiday. So yeah, we went to Tenby and the weather wasn't the best, was it? It rained all the way there. It rained on and off on Saturday all day. Then it rained solidly. Well, we did a bike loop on Sunday morning, didn't we? So we did the shorter of the 2 bike loops, which is the second lap, which has got most of the hills in. And it took 3 hours 14 minutes at a nice steady pace because it rained for 3 hours and 10 minutes. The last 4 minutes the sun came out. It's ironic. But we did get a swim in on Saturday afternoon. There weren't many others in swimming though, was there?
No, just you and I.
Just me and you, yeah.
No jellyfish though.
No, but when you came out after the first lap, you had some like weird black stuff all over your face. I don't know if it was oil or what the hell it was, but it didn't look very nice.
You've not been to Cleethorpes then.
You had to give your face a wipe, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit minging. I did an Aussie exit practice out around some kids' sandcastle that they'd built. I didn't go around the rock because I thought it was
too far out there,
it was a
wasn't
bit
it?
too far. Yeah, so we had a nice swim just to get used to the...
Just a bit of a confidence booster for you though. So when I did my Tenby recce last year, I was absolutely bathed and blessed in glorious wall-to-wall sunshine.
You were.
And it came to race day and it peed it down.
So
let's look at it on the other side. So hopefully you've had the rain on the recce.
Yeah.
And then come race day, it will be nice and perfect sunshine and tailwind.
I'm not bothered about the sunshine, to be honest. I know you expect
No, I know, but...
and
nice.
we did 2 laps of the run, didn't we? Because we're only going to do 1, but because we had to swap things around because of the weather, we managed to do 2 laps of the run course.
Which is more than we were going to do.
Which we were only going to do 1. Yeah.
So what was your thoughts on the run course?
The bit which I thought was going to be the hard part, obviously coming out of the town and then going up to New Edges to the turn point and then back and the little loop. I actually found that quite easy because I've been doing a lot of hill training and I found that alright, and I could have gone a lot quicker up there even on the second lap.
I was slowing you down. I'm afraid.
You were slowing me down, we were having a chat, it was alright, don't worry about it. Yeah, you had to keep waiting for me on the bike, so don't worry. I think the worst bit is the bit through the town, because you sort of, there's that street that goes downhill and you can see the beach on your left and it's like block paved, but it's quite a bit uneven. Then there's sort of tight corners and bit uphill bits and down.
You'll love that bit on lap 3 of the
I'll hate it. I've already decided I'll hate it on lap 3, but Yeah, the in-town bit is the worst bit, I think. Hopefully there'll be a lot of people cheering you on to get you through it, because when you get out of town you can get into a bit of a rhythm, and it's not too bad. Well, rhythm for me is obviously not a lot quicker, but at least you can get going a bit. So I actually enjoyed that bit.
Good.
So yeah, all in all, it was worth going. Obviously, the hills, the 3 hills, Narberth, Wiseman's, and Saundersfoot are all different, and all offer different challenges, but are all
achievable.
They're all okay, aren't they? Really, you just got to get out the seat and pedal, and that's it. So yeah, so we've done the recce. So by the time you lot watch this, I'll probably won't have any fingernails because I'll bitten them all off. It's only be about 4 days to go, or 5 days to go. So
yeah,
be a bit nervous.
8 weeks?
No, it's less than 6.
6 weeks to 10.
Less than 6. Yeah.
Bring on the bag, bitches.
So anyway, let's not talk about that anymore. Still plenty of training to do. Big block coming up, coach says. So you went to Cambridge.
I did.
With your wing woman.
With Shawnee.
Wing woman.
So, beginning of the month, Shawnee and I went off and did a 50-mile time trial on the hottest day of the year.
Because why wouldn't you?
It was a great little event, actually. It was fairly flat, a few undulations, roundabouts to tackle at each end, so we had to go around roundabouts about 8 times, I think it was, and a few flyovers and stuff. But I was obviously still nursing a bit of an injury in my back, so I just kind of went with no expectations. I did have a goal before going to the event, but that went out the window, and I just kind of sat and thought, right, I'll just sit and see how I am and go from there. So happy with 2 hours and 9 minutes for my first 50-mile time trial. So something now to work on and keep on improving. So for the magic 2 hours would be nice.
Yeah. Cousin Michael says sub 2 hours, obviously. Yeah.
So did a TT last night, a 10-mile one, just try and get a bit more focus back on basically eyeball out on 10 miles and try and build from there. So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Well, yeah, you didn't just do a TT, it was club championships, wasn't it, last night?
Yep.
Yeah, worth doing.
Absolutely. Yeah, good little turn.
So back on it again now, back's better.
That's it now.
Yeah.
Touch wood.
All alright. Back on training as normal for your next
event. Yep.
Yet to be named. While we're on about Wales, I don't want to forget, we left Tenby obviously on Sunday morning after getting up at 5:30 to do the bike route recce, because that's what we do on a Sunday. So we got out of bed at 5:30 in the pissing rain. We did the bike loop, went back, had a shower, chucked the gear in the van, drove to Swansea because
Phil and Nick
were doing this Ironmans 70.3 at Swansea. So we went to give them a cheer. And there's been a bit of not an uproar, but murmurings about the quality of the t-shirts that were supplied after said 70.3, and you've got your last year's one on.
Which I noticed tonight, actually. It doesn't say the year on it.
No, it hasn't got a date on.
But this wasn't the event one, it's the one that I bought.
Yes, but you didn't get an event one, did you? Because they haven't been printed in time, so they came with 2022 on. An Ironman being Ironman, you know. Put a sticker over the top with 23 on. Been a bit of... I did see an email, somebody had complained, and they are actually having some printed.
Yeah. I hope they rectify it for them.
Well,
then they will.
They are. Apparently, they're going to be done and delivered by the end of August. Why didn't they just do that in the first place?
And let's hope they learn from the mistakes. And
tell you what, the t-shirt at Tenby better be bloody good, because if I'm doing that and it's a crap t-shirt, oh man, I'll be all over it.
Do I need to buy you one?
It
now?
needs to be, the bag needs to be good, the t-shirt needs to be good, it needs to be a bloody good medal, because I'm not doing another one, so it better be good. Anyway, that's enough of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shall we move on from that?
Yeah, if you like, yeah, we shall.
Can you rest easy now?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I'm alright. I'm cool.
So, last podcast that we did was just you and I talking, but tonight we have a special guest, don't we?
We do, and this is somebody who I've never really spoken to before, because I I only see him at the beginning of running races. I never see him at the end because he's usually collected his trophy and he's halfway home in his car by the time I cross the line. So tonight we are going to be talking about running, a bit more than triathlon.
We'll be covering triathlon a little bit.
I'm sure we will. But yeah, so I suppose it's time we got our guest in.
Would you like to introduce him?
Well, it will be the one and only Mr. Jordan Skelly.
Welcome, Jordan. Thank you for joining us with the podcast. So tonight we'd like to ask you a few questions, but I think that one thing that would be good for more for you, not really knowing Jordan so much, and for the audience maybe, is give a bit of an introduction of who you are, what you've done, and what started off your career and where you are today.
Yeah, I should say, well, I've been doing it for quite a while, one way or another. So initially, I swam when I was a kid. So I had quite a background in that. Never really was that good, to be honest. But yeah, I always kind of enforced into it. So it was kind of until I was maybe 15, something like that. So, and then had a few years after that, more like a lot of young lads do, end up in the gym and a few things like that. So kind of just wasting my time doing that. So, and then I ended up rolling into cycling of all stuff. So
you went straight from, obviously, was you running when you were younger?
No,
literally just swimming.
Occasional cross country at school, which that was again all right, but never particularly that good compared to anyone else. So you were always there or thereabouts, but never anything that I thought you're going to be a runner or anything like that really. So
transitioning into the gym, and then you found the love of biking, really.
I think it's more my workmates were cycling, to be fair. So I ended up they started doing time trials, and I'm quite competitive, so I thought I want to do that and try and beat you, I ended up starting doing that. So I ended up quite quickly going up the distances. So in the space of 2 years, mostly because I like winning trophies. So I wanted to win the 100-mile trophy because it looked good and so stuff like that. So so I ended up doing that, and then through cycling really. At the time, there was a lot of people doing triathlon.
What year was this then?
It will have been maybe 2012, something like that, around the Olympic.
Yeah.
London 2012 time. And then there's a lot of lads who were doing the time trials who were doing triathlon, Luke Matthews, Steve Grocott, they were coming down to Gainsborough, and I was seeing these guys and I'm thinking I want to do that. So I ended up entering one and giving myself maybe the winter of training to start doing.
What was your first triathlon?
Lincoln, so it was a sprint try, and then that's where I began to meet a lot of the Link squad guys like Phil Binch. I think that was maybe the first time I met him. So, and a few of the other guys, and as soon as you'd done your first one, that's it. I was like, next week I bought a time trial bike, and I never really.
So when you was TTing, was you on a time trial bike or was you just on normal bike?
Just on normal bike with bars. Really. Started off with just a £200 bike, and
start cheap, second hand.
Ultimately, that was about it. So, and then
I always say that for people that say it's time trial, but that's one of the big stigmas from a time trial point of view. People won't do it because they think that they've got to have a time trial bike. But when I first started time trialing, I was on a road bike, aero bars. And I just think if people understand a little bit, it's not just about going and having a time trial bike, it's just literally just give it a go, innit?
Just getting involved to start with. So, from there, you then realise, and I then want the gear to. You start to realise the time differences of the bikes and everything like that. So it then spirals quite quickly into you buying everything. So
and it's skipped in a very short period of time.
Just say I had a bit of money before I started doing triathlon, and then it went downhill from there. But I don't regret it really, because then I should say I then after I think maybe a year or so I then started doing the GB age group stuff when particularly when it was popular then. And then I won a few medals at the Europeans of that, and like completely unexpected. Like the first one I remember was in Geneva. Like I didn't know. Like I was just going there to do it, and then I ended up like getting a bronze medal there, and I was like, completely like blew my mind like that I'd been able to compete against like the level of guys I was competing against, and then you start to believe a bit more, and every year from there really. So and then I kept going up the distances, so eventually to Ironman. So and then COVID eventually broke that Ironman. So
which Ironmans have you done?
So I did Lanzarote was my first one.
Tough one.
Yeah, which I managed to race Clark. Yeah.
Did you?
So
Did you?
Like,
How did you get on racing Clark? Alright.
I did all right, to be fair. And then Ironman Wales after that. So
good. We'll have a chat after.
Did you podium it?
I did.
Oh, you won the team thing. What did you win?
So I did. Yeah, we won the team.
Yeah.
Team prize because so we had Clarky there, myself. Trying to remember how many people. We had a good group there like that year. So so we ended up getting the team prize that year, and then I actually did long course weekend.
Oh, yeah.
So then in the summer as kind of like preparation for Wales.
Yeah.
More than anything. So and that went really well. So I ended up second there. So and then into Wales. So I was beginning to get quite tired towards Wales because it is a long season. Wales from there, that's probably the hardest race I've ever done. So
cheers, mate.
I was just literally about to say, what would your tip be for Ironman Wales?
Don't do it.
I don't know. It's like it's that marathon at the end that really got me.
It's like cobbly run through the.
It's more the hills on the run. So because I run I'm very much a track runner, which as we're finding out now.
Yeah.
So whereas you spring more and in an Ironman you don't spring anymore. So your legs are done. So you just plod in and it just there's nothing more I wanted than that last 10k to finish. You got so long as well to think about it, how much it hurts.
Yeah.
So which is not selling it to you, but
it's all right, mate. I mean, I've been there and watched it, and then entered. So I've seen the pain on people's faces.
But it's afterwards it's worthwhile. That race of any race is worthwhile.
Well, if you're going to do one, do a tough one.
Yeah, Wales.
And you've done two. Lanzarote, which is tough.
Yeah, that's them two.
Probably the two toughest ones in Europe, probably.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that are on the Ironman circuit. At least, and then from there, obviously, then COVID happened, and then I became a runner because of that. Really, so just kind of went out of swimming and biking mostly because it just wasn't happening. Yeah. So and then I started running, and I got linked in with a few of the lads at Lincoln when I was living there. So and a few running races were happening as well. So you could do running races. So then because I've been running a lot, my times quickly advanced. And then since then I've just gone forwards with purely running just because the time.
See, one thing that if you from your point of view is that you've gone from doing such long endurance based sport to then transitioning into the running side of things and stuff, and now you're in a position where you're actually doing shorter distance stuff, but getting quicker and everything for it as well. So you've transitioned very quickly on how you've done that.
Yeah, so it's well, to be fair, I was surprised myself in some ways. So going from a 10-hour race to now 1,500 meters, which is over
and done with.
Yeah, less than 4 minutes. So so I don't know possibly whether obviously you never know for sure whether I should have been doing this all along really. So the shorter distance like this maybe is what my body is designed to do. So but it's a great contrast in training as well, not just in racing. The training is entirely different, which is why why now I'm coached by Bill, and he's well, it's entirely different. I didn't really understand it, the racing, so you kind of need help to a certain extent to really know what you need to do. So whereas I was quite comfortable, relatively know what I needed to do, with the guidance of Clarkey initially. Now coming to the short stuff, it's entirely different. But yeah, I also need to. Well, that's why I've stopped entering ultra marathons as well. So I need to just purely focus on the shorter stuff now to try and compete against the lads who I'm racing against, because they don't do 50 miles and then try and turn up at a 3K the next week and run well. So we're really starting to narrow it down now. So
very specific for 1500 metres. That's the
distance. This summer now is purely nothing more than 5,000 really.
Yeah.
So it's basically between a 15 and a 5,000. That's purely it. So because the guys who you're racing against, you can be winning a race by point something of a second.
Yeah.
And you're being put in a field of 18, 20 guys who are all going to run, like say if it's at 5,000, they're all going to run between 13:50 and 14:20. So you can't
That's for 5K, ladies and gentlemen.
So you've gone from what you obviously to try doing the triathlons and the cycling and everything with it. You now very much then just become a runner. So when you just became a runner, what are your milestones that you've ticked off from that point to now?
I think obviously one of the biggest ones is getting under 30 minutes for a 10K, which is kind of fun.
Where did you do that?
So, I did that at Trafford this year actually.
I think I remember you doing that.
That even for good level runners under 30 minutes is kind of you want to achieve that. Then now I've done it. You kind of you think, why can't I go under?
Yeah.
Do you feel like something like that, 30 minutes, obviously a bit of a barrier. Mm-hmm. People have 45 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever. When you're trying to get there and all of a sudden you get through it, do you then think, does it then all of a sudden make you a little bit quicker because you've broken that barrier?
Yeah, I don't.
Or a bit more confidence and...
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird feeling, because you kind of see them barriers there, and then when you break them, you don't quite feel as satisfied as you think you maybe would have done. You ran it, and then you kind of I broke it now, and then you're straight away you think you maybe can enjoy it for a day or two, but after that, all of a sudden your brain quickly ticks on to
probably high and wide. You're never satisfied.
That's it. You then think, why can't I go beat him? Because at Trafford I still came 10th, so it's
So what was the quickest time at Trafford then?
Probably low 29, I think there. So they weren't too far up the road, but there's still he's still being beaten.
Seconds is a lot in running though, isn't it?
Yeah. So 20 seconds looks a long way up the road from where you are.
Yeah, the speed you're going at.
But now my focus is because I ran 14:4 for 5K. So now I want to try and get under 14 minutes. So anything beginning with 13 is a good thing. So at the minute that's that is everything. So and in the next month or so is what we're going to try and do. So but again, whether after I've done it I'll be that satisfied. I don't know. I don't know.
You'll go, I've done it, and now I want the next one.
Yeah.
Will you do that on track, or will you do that on just a race flat track?
I have. There's not. It's quite hard to get a race that's 5,000 meters that the field's going to be that quick. So and a lot of the races at the minute are happening on the same day in various places. So I've actually got 2 road ones coming up rather than a track 5,000s. Just because one of them suits better than the other. So I know the field's going to be there. So in this spell that one will be on the road. So but you want to have both really if you can have, because then they go on your power of 10. You got both the track one and the road one. So it's but you can't do every race as well.
You won't know what power of 10 is, will you?
No.
I'll
tell me later. Tell me later all about that. Yeah. It's still bloody fast, that's what it is.
It's your power of 10 is basically everything that you've done in your running career. So it
not
holds
be a lot
all
in
of,
my case then.
it holds all of your data.
Oh, okay.
Everything.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right, I'll have my half marathon in there then.
Yeah.
Scunny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sweet. Yours in as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about Jordan.
Sorry, I'm just trying to explain power of 10 for people that don't understand.
Yeah,
what
no,
power
you
of 10
should do because
Yeah.
people won't understand it. Yeah, cool.
So, if you're affiliated to a club, it's all on there.
So, 5k, you're sub 15. So 14
Yeah,
something.
14.4, yeah.
10k, you're obviously sub 30, 29 something.
Mhm.
I did a 10 miler that you did at Ferriby 10.
Oh yeah, and I did Snake Lane.
You did Snake
After that,
Lane.
yeah,
I didn't see you
so-
at that because you were already halfway home.
Okay.
What 10 mile? What's your 10 mile time?
It was, I know it was 49 something. So that was a bit more tactical, like so.
Yeah.
You kind of like So
but
yeah.
you won it.
But
Yeah.
I think I won it by maybe 5
The
seconds.
trophy?
But, I can't remember. No, I don't think I got a trophy that one.
Oh.
Or maybe I did. I can't remember.
I was lame when you like trophies.
I can't remember, to be fair.
No, a big trophy.
Yeah, decent prize money.
That's
one,
right.
So, that's what I remember.
Yeah.
So, that's what I wanted to win, to be
Yeah.
fair.
Bonus.
So, but that was quite flat compared to Ferriby.
Yeah. Snake Lane is there's only a bit of a hill about 7 miles.
It's
isn't
not
it?
too
Not
bad.
a lot.
There's a few hills a bit, 7 or 8 mile away. That's where I basically broke away. So I use them hills to go away. So you just I like to make people suffer. So I just pushed him over the edge of it on that bit, and then then nailed it back home. But Ferriby's far tougher. I think I can't remember what time I did at Ferriby. I think it's like 51 maybe. So, but I was, even though it's only a few weeks apart, I wasn't as fit at Ferriby as I was even a few weeks later. And that hill is a swine at the end.
At the end.
So,
So 49 minutes then, or 50 minutes for 10 miles. What? Half marathon?
So I did 65,
1 hour 5.
30, I think about 31 maybe at Antrim last year. So that I was quite satisfied with that at the time.
Yeah.
So now I want 64 or something, but it's a good run at Antrim as well. So maybe hillier than people think, but you get the good field again. A lot of the races are purely about the field.
Do you prefer a flat course or do you prefer a hilly or a bit of up and down?
Yeah, I think you can. It depends on. Well, again, it's purely who's in the field, but you can run quick on a gradual up and down course because you do
rolls.
So, but it can't be much. A lot of them really are about time. So so unless you got one like Ferriby where you know it's not about time at all, and that's purely racing. So then that gives a different dynamic. Like you kind of enjoy the hilly race then because you can
some more tactical.
throw a bit more that side of part into it, but generally a lot through the year you're just purely aiming for fast courses for fast times. So that's mostly what you're aiming for. So
cool.
Marathon time?
So I did 2:25, which I should be quicker than that, but at the minute I'm not allowed to do anything about that. So because I can't
Park it.
I can't train for a marathon and then train for the
So you
track
just
stuff.
put that to one side for a few years and then
Ultimately,
and then have another go.
So Bill won't let me do anything like that. So, which is fair enough. That's why he's helping me to stop me doing it. So I have to listen to him. So
it's amazing listening to it because in my head that I've always been for me on the training is that I've always felt that to run faster, shorter, I have to run longer. Yeah. But I don't know whether that's because when I come out of doing an Ironman event or something like that, when you rest straight away and go and blast a 5k, the PB for me would be there. But I'm not training for that. Yeah. But I guess that for me, it's there. If that makes sense, your body's ready to. It's different for you because you're right. It's different kind of races.
It's different phases of training as well, really. So,
it's just really interesting to hear how that works and stuff from that point of view.
Yeah, now it's completely different to how I've ever ran before. So, we'll we really focus. It's probably in many ways it'll be similar, but because you're not running as far as what you did when you did triathlon, like even a short race in a triathlon is an hour. Which is that's still like it's still a long way in running terms. Like it's about half marathon for me thereabouts. Whereas now the sharp is very sharp, and you don't do that many miles. You've kind of already done them. So for earlier in the year, it's a completely different type of training really. Which is why I kind of needed the help to adapt into it. So.
Yeah, I suppose you need the knowledge, don't you? Someone to guide you to where you want to go. That's what you're good at. I can get the best out of you because this is the training you need to do, and you notice the difference straight away by getting quicker and being more competitive, and obviously it's something that you're really enjoying.
Oh yeah,
and you're getting some really good results as well.
So the racing element's a bit. I probably enjoy that more at the shorter stuff. Yeah. You really do.
Fired up and
everything happens so quick. So you've not got long to. Some of it you don't even have time to think. You just have to trust. You just do it. You got you see the break and you got half a second to make the choice whether you're going with it or if the pace slows down to take it on or anything like that. So whereas in the Ironman stuff like that, it's a lot. It's a very different day. So. This short stuff, I am enjoying it probably more than I did the longer stuff, really. So, yeah.
Do you think you'll ever return to biking or triathlon, anything in the future?
Yeah, well, maybe, I'm 30 now, so I've got a good few years of purely running, so at the minute, which I will invest the time into. But there's not many races that would draw me back into, but Norseman would. That one I do want to do that one.
Get that t-shirt.
Yeah, so I've seen Clarky do it. Dave Inch is doing it this year. So that race does appeal to me. So I probably will eventually go back and give that one a crack. So I might have to adapt to the cold a bit because I'm not very good with cold. So,
it don't look very warm, does it?
Hopefully global warming kicks in by then.
It'll need to.
Yeah, that race, there's a few races that appeal. So, it's more venue than anything. So, that one, particularly with the hilltop finish, as well. And
just iconic, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. It's,
and with such a limited entry as well.
Yeah,
what is it, 250, 260?
It's
really short.
It's a lottery anyway, which kind of makes it more unique as well.
And if you're going to come back to do one, that would be the one to go for.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So why not?
Yeah, Well, you get good race photos as well. So.
I like the one jumping off the back of the ferry into the field.
That's
quite a good one, isn't it?
So you don't get many like that.
So. No, that's pretty serious. Do you want to go through a question?
Yeah, so we've got a few questions. So we've gone through how you got started and just a few achievements so far. What is your favourite event that you've done? If you were to choose one. Can you choose one?
It's probably quite easy.
Probably one where you got a very large trophy, I would imagine.
No, I think it's more it's probably in two different ways, which they will both be in Tenby. So I'd probably say the best race experience will be long course weekend. So that one, because that one it's a 3-day event, so swim, bike, run each individual day, and on the Saturday, because I came, I think I was maybe 9th out of the something like that. You get the Tour de France ramp style thing, and and then by road position I was in the lead, so I had the motorbike with me for about 80k. So that was insane.
I genuinely remember being in absolute awe of you. I remember watching. Was it 2018?
19.
19. So I had probably started triathlon the year before. And I remember watching you, and it had the flames and everything come out when you launched your bike down. It was like, wow, that was just another level.
It was brilliant, that one, and because they set off the slower slow riders who need more time in the day. Before you, so then after I think a few miles, I'd caught 9th, I'd caught 10th, because they were good swimmers but not necessarily good bikers. So then I was in the lead, and you've got the motorbike, getting all these people, like he's getting his horn, he's getting them all out of the way for you and everything. And like, yeah,
And you're just following him through.
By far, I biked far too hard in that first second. I thought I'm never gonna. I might
Trying
never.
to keep up with him.
I might never have this again. So
Yeah.
I absolutely
That's my
nailed it.
bike.
So
What did you do the bike in? Can you remember what time?
oh yeah, I couldn't remember now, to be fair. So I'd be lying if I'd tell you the time. But yeah,
I'll have a look at this
yeah,
after.
like yeah. So but then obviously you got the marathon the day after. So which I was in. I think I was in a good position because I got caught on the bike at 80k. So but it was only one guy who caught me all day. So I think I maybe did lose a bit of overall time to some of the other guys. But then I think maybe 5th going into the marathon. So which suited me quite nicely, and I ended up like on the podium. So and yeah, long course weekend. It is when you get your medal and presentation, everything is
Yeah, I've seen the videos.
yeah, it's quite a unique event, that one. But then you then got the Ironman, which is like that I don't think anything beats Ironman Wales really. So that is the best one in terms of atmosphere on one day. So like you can't really.
That was what made me enter it.
Yeah,
I had no interest before that.
Yeah,
I'd been to Swansea, watched Ali Podium at Swansea, and I've been to Bolton, various other events. Not interested, just thought you were all mad. And then I went to Tenby, and it was the atmosphere.
Yeah, that's it.
The atmosphere of the day was what made me think I've got to do it.
Yeah, it just
stupidly.
I hadn't actually been to Ironman Wales itself before. I'd done one course weekend in a few various ways.
Did you go the same year as Steve went?
No, he didn't do it that year. So because I remember he was like messaging people telling me to get my arse moving on the marathon. So he wasn't doing it that day. So, but yeah,
I bet Dave Gibbs was. He's there every year.
Probably quite possibly. But Ironman Wales would certainly be the best of my favourite race as such. So I maybe didn't enjoy it much actually on the day, but
as far as that saying.
In terms of if there's one race I'm glad I've ever done, that is.
Oh well, that will lead nicely on to the next question.
Okay.
Because the next question is, usually it's one piece of advice to someone starting out, but how about one piece of advice to someone who's going to do Ironman Wales very shortly?
Ironman Wales is very different to Lanzarote. So Lanzarote is quicker and easier at the end, whereas Wales is harder at the end. Yeah. So the bike course at the start you will move quite nicely, varying upon the weather. But the back end of the bike course at Wales is hard. It's the only race I've actually added an extra gear on for Heartbreak Hill and various bits. So it's very much pacing that back end.
Yeah, because I noticed that when we went out last weekend, the first part.
You can get
carried away because it's just rolling and.
Should say
And then when you get to 3 hills at the end, it's like
so you got then come back on that short loop
things,
and the road surface is poor and you got them hill stays and that marathon is not easy.
No.
So
save a bit.
But ultimately don't nail the hills or anything it's you got a lot to do at the end of the day. So it's trying to not
kill yourself early on.
That's it, ultimately.
And that's quite hard from you knowing being a cyclist and time trialist. When you're on the bike, your head's down, like you say, you're off for it, you're time trialing or in a position. That's it, isn't it?
Just
and it's
Ironman's patience game.
Yeah.
So that's it. It's who falls off the least more than anything. So so you just gotta stick to what you do in training, really. So
have a plan, stick to it.
Don't get carried away.
Don't get involved.
Get your nutrition sorted out. So because Ironman's big one on that one. So if you can, it's gonna hurt anyway. Anyway you do it, but
it's gonna hurt. I know it's gonna hurt,
but it's the most satisfying one to get the medal for. So and then enjoy that finish part. That's probably one of the biggest things that when. I remember I think it was Ironman Lanzarote. I was coming into the finish or on the last lap and I'd seen Clarky and high-fived him going through and he's telling me make sure you enjoy the finish. So rather than just trying to race it, he kind of put it in my head I actually do enjoy it. So that part, because usually I'd just be straight through to the line whatever time I can get. But yeah, that'd be, make sure you do enjoy that.
Soak it up.
They always say that the finish line photos are better in the dark because everything's lit up.
Don't aim for that. Aim for in the lights.
So mine should look pretty good, I would imagine, in the dark. Yeah, so it certainly won't be daylight. Thanks for that, mate. Go on, you can do the next one. I think it's pretty obvious, but you can ask it.
Okay, what's your favourite, swim, bike or run?
Yeah, it's quite enough. I think it's probably obviously biased purely on like what I'm most natural to. So, which running is my most natural one. And yeah, like if I was to swim competitively, bike competitively, run competitively, running is the one I can do a higher level in. So yeah, and the racing element of that I prefer more than anything really. So, and probably training to a degree, like social wise on the bike is probably, that is a bit better than running. So, but it's a lot of time as well. A lot of time invested. Running is, you don't need to, you do train a lot still, but you
just lace your trainers up and go out the door.
It's easier, and I enjoy the racing of it more really. So running is,
And I think even I don't know before we spoke on here, but even you said like in the comparison of how much everything costs as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know that running races, you said earlier on that you hadn't even spent that in comparison to
in a year now. Some of them I'm getting free entries because I get in as an elite or whatever now. But if I was even paying for them, you're talking a lot of the races are less than 20 quid. Whereas I can race all year for less than one triathlon. And that financially is a lot better.
What do you need when you go running? A pair of trainers?
Yeah, I go through them a lot more obviously.
I imagine you do.
How many pairs of trainers do you go through? Or roughly, do you have a general rule of
how many miles?
I don't know. I just go until I'd probably kill them off. But I have a lot of trainers. I have trainers probably more so than I did triathlon wise. Because I have a lot of trainers for different surfaces, different running paces. I've always got about 6 pairs in rotation. So of which I'll go between. So throughout the year that does end up costing a fair bit. Again, some of them you're getting for free or using race vouchers or something like that. So it kind of ends up funding itself a bit. So on that sense, that's your most expensive part of running really. So
brilliant.
Cool. Well, does that about wrap it up? I don't know how long we've been here. Probably about 10 minutes, but probably not. But thanks, mate. It's been informative. Learned quite a lot. I feel as though I'll be able to have a chat with him now when I see him warming up at the beginning of a race. And I'm just there doing a few stretches.
I think from our side is that, as I say about your legacy, you're always inspiring everybody and you inspire us all. And you just think and you sit there and see what you do and everything.
Most people I know just go, how fast does he run? That's what everybody says. Yeah, I've never seen anyone run that fast in real life.
It's weird though, because you're now, because I'm winning races and stuff like that, you find people even talk to you different than before.
Because you're winning.
Because you're winning, just because I'm 2 minutes quicker than I was before, it's it doesn't really change anything.
No, it's not the same person.
I find it that movie takes a bit of adaptation, you think I don't know. Maybe some people do make a big deal of it, but
now you take it in stride and get on with it.
That's it. I don't mind. You get obviously more attention, having to talk to more people after the races, stuff like that. But it comes
with the territory.
Comes with it.
That's what it is. But I'm sure you can handle it.
We appreciate it today. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much. It's been informative.
Scary second-hand bargains.
We ain't got second-hand bargains this week. Oh, have we got second-hand bargains? Who wants a second-hand bargain?
Do you want a second-hand bargain?
I'll have to go get it out of the garage.
Scully's second-hand bargains.
Welcome to Second-Hand Bargains.
Scary second-hand bargains.
All right then, fair enough. This week, bicycles.
Stealth speed.
Stealth speed. So, second hand. You don't need new. I took advice before I bought this. I thought I need a time trial bike. I didn't particularly need a time trial bike, but I thought if I'm going to do an Ironman, well, maybe I need to try and buy a bit of speed.
You just wanted to look fast, didn't you?
I did. So I bought this second hand, a lot cheaper than you probably think as well. I did take advice before I bought one because I looked at a few different ones at different prices. Asked someone in the know. Thanks, Craig. Asked someone who knows about bikes. What should I buy? He recommended a Planet X. So I bought a Planet X because multi-adjustable. So you can do a lot with them to make them fit you if they don't fit you. So he said, you've got more adjustment on this than you have a lot of other stuff, so you can find a decent one. They're pretty good, they're pretty reliable, pretty strong. So go for one of them.
And they look fast.
And it does look fast. And it is, to be honest. Even I can go quick on this. Reasonably quick. It's pretty good, really. And what I paid for it.
What did you pay for it?
What did I pay for it? 900 quid. I know people think 900 quid's a lot of money, but the guy who I bought it off bought it brand new from Planet X, still had the receipt and everything. And luckily he was the same height as me, so it didn't need a lot of adjusting to make it fit. Shh. Just all it needed was some pedals and a seat. Pretty much new tyres, that's it. So yeah, good bike. And now I'm pretty comfortable on it.
Just need to change gearing, don't we, for Wales?
Just need to change gearing for Wales because it's got time trial gearing, and obviously I need some climbing gearing for Wales. But as a bike, yeah, I feel quite comfy on it now. So yeah, why buy new? It doesn't quite look brand new now because I've just dragged it out of the garage. But when I bought it, it looked brand new.
And if you're watching
this... Sorry, this is my section. It looked like the guy had never ridden it. It was that clean. So, yeah. So there you go. So that's this episode's second-hand bargains.
And if you're watching this in 2024, this could be a bargain because you might not want to ride it anymore.
Oh yeah, this might be for sale. So if you're watching this like in years to come, it could be up for sale. So there you go. We'll see what happens in September.